Welcome to the Nifty Chicks. In this episode, we talk with the founder of NFT project Crypto Goddess and God, Lindsay Rosenthal. She talks about how she balances being a full-time student and a full-time project leader, and the impact she wants to make on the world by funding the education for up to 25 girls in India with the minting of just one of her NFTs. Let's do this. Welcome to the Nifty Chicks. Hi, Minty Cell. How are you?
I'm great. How are you, Jen FT?
I am good. Welcome back from Universal in Florida. How was your trip?
It was good. It was pretty uneventful. We went to a concert that was a whole lot of fun of a Chicago cover band that they are from Russia. And it was, oh my gosh, they put on such a great show. If you want to go check them out, you can find them on YouTube. Leonid and Friends. They are amazing. It was such a fun show. Like highly recommend.
Oh, that's awesome.
Yeah.
That's so cool. Yeah, I feel like I haven't been to a concert in years because of the pandemic. So I am itching to get to a concert. I just love them. I love live music. It's so much fun.
Yep. Agreed. Me too. And I've been definitely missing it due to COVID. I have been to one show. I went to one show at Red Rocks last year and that's it. And that is really not like me.
Yeah. I used to go to like 3 or 4, 5, up to like 10 a year. And it's just
Tell me about it. Do you want to hear something crazy?
What?
So the year that I turned 40, I had a goal of attending 40 shows in that year. I didn't make the goal until April of that year. And I ended up at I think like by the end of the year, I ended up at like 48 or 52. I can't remember the number, but
holy smokes, girl.
Because everybody, like once they found out I was doing it, then people would just invite me to shows. And I was like, I'm saying yes. And so there were weeks that I would do like 5 shows in a week. And yeah, it was crazy, but it was really fun.
That's amazing. That sounds like so much fun. I am jealous.
Yeah, it was.
All right. So I am really excited to speak with Lindsay. She is just so incredibly inspiring. I mean, 21 years old, doing
amazing things.
I know, going to school full time and leading this project that is so cool. I'm just so excited.
I agree. I say we go to the interview.
Yeah, let's do it.
Welcome to the show. We are so excited to have Lindsay Rosenthal. She is a young female founder, only 21 years old, and she is already creating her own NFT collection, the Crypto Goddess collection. Welcome to the Nifty Chicks, Lindsay. We are so excited to have you here today.
Thank you for having me. Pleasure to be here.
So, Lindsay, you reached out on LinkedIn and connected with me and asked if we wanted to be a part of this project. And we overwhelmingly were like, yes, please, we would love to be a part of this. Part of it too was, it was funny when you reached out and I was looking at your website, I saw that you had Somi on there, who we just recently interviewed, like a week or so ago. And I saw some other, familiar faces in there. So first, tell us about what you're doing with Crypto Goddess and how you got into this space.
Yeah, totally. So as you mentioned, yes, I'm 21. I'm in college. I live in Seattle. And I've been in the NFT crypto space now for about 2 years since COVID. And before that, I've always really been into finance and just that whole financial space. I'm the president of my university's student investment fund. And so finance is something that I've always been really interested. Last year, I created a financial podcast and I was just interviewing people, talking to people, and just really learning through them about just the whole financial industry, and then kind of rabbit hole more into just NFTs from there. And I thought it was really interesting. And so I have this love of finance and crypto and NFTs and people. I love people. And I wanted to kind of bring it all together in an NFT collection. And so just through research and NFT collections, obviously we've seen a ton of NFT collections. They're just like little animals or little like characters and stuff. And I think that's cool. I think it's really awesome. But I'm like, why don't we make an NFT collection that are of real people? Like, why not do that? And like, why not create an NFT collection of just the most amazing people that are in finance, fintech, and Web3 and put it in a collection? So that was the whole idea behind it. Okay, let's make some really, really cool art. We came up with the whole crypto goddess, crypto god, inspired by the Greek, the Greek goddess and stuff. And from there, we just developed this amazing creative team. Our creative team is actually 5 young female artists. We have a team just creating the face art. We have a team, a girl creating all the amazing looks. And we have a team that have created all the animals and the flowers and putting all together. And so it's a whole thing. But going out and picking these people, one by one, about just people that are just really, really making moves in the spaces. And then from there, at the very beginning, we're like, okay, this is such an amazing group. Let's just fund girls' education. And so it's funny, I live in a huge house. I'm actually on the volleyball team at my university too. I'm the captain of the team. And so we were at my house. Yeah, so we were at my house and we're like, okay, so we want to make an NFT project just based around charity. Let's raise money for charity. And so we had a whole charity night at my school, at my house here. And we put my computer on the TV and we were just thumbing through charities that we really liked. And we ended up coming with Educate Girls Globally and Girl Up. And Girl Up's a UN nonprofit. And these nonprofits are awesome. They're educating girls, but they're also just seeing what the girl needs holistically to be successful in school. And obviously, with me being in school, I'm like, school is something that's really important to me. And so at the beginning, we're like, okay, let's make this NFT project just based around education. Awesome, let's go. But then, the NFT space has obviously just changed a lot since, the end of last year. And we kind of we took a step back and we're like, okay, so yes, we want to raise money for girls' education, but we can't raise money for girls' education. There's no utility behind the collection, especially the people that we have in our collection. So okay, let's lean into the utility game. Let's make this a utility project with education as still a large pillar of what we're doing. And so we took a step back. We probably researched utility in about 2 months of just how are NFT projects just actually creating utility. And I was reading this earlier today. I love the comment of how NFT collections are kind of transitioning into a ticket into a community. And when we were doing all of our research, we're like, we have 1,000 of the greatest minds in finance, fintech, and Web3 together. 1,000 of them. How can we put this community instead? And we did a ton of research on the whole idea that a lot of times when a company evolves, they come to the product and they go out and find their market. But we had our community, and how can we develop a product that will help our community and also provide utility? So what we're doing is we're actually creating a platform that's going to help bridge Web 2 to Web 3. What we're going to do is, because we have 500-ish finance, fintech Web 2 people, and we have 500-ish Web 3 people, we have people from both sides of the game, lawyers from both sides of the game, VCs from both sides of the game. How can we create something to kind of come together? And we also have the whole thing that obviously the only places you can kind of really chat and get information right now is, Discord and WhatsApp and Telegram and Twitter. And although these are, I think, are great places to start, it's tough. These people, like I mentioned, are all CEOs of companies and things like that. They don't have time to just thumb through Discord every single day. We also see
anybody really have time?
Discord is insane. Discord and Twitter, people who have full-time jobs can't keep up with this. It's insane the amount of stuff that's going on. And so we're okay, obviously people are coming together on Discord, so we can still use Discord, but what we're doing is we're creating a whole separate platform where people can come together, the people in their community are NFT holders, and we're actually going to come out these whole passes for another group of people that can use our platform as well, and come together, and we're going to have events. We have this thing called roundtables. We'll have these things. And so how it works is what you do is you come onto the platform and it's curated. You just say, hey, what are you interested in? Are you interested in finance? Are you interested in transition from finance DeFi? Oh. It's almost like if you were going to Spotify, you can decide what you're interested in. Maybe you're interested in hip hop, maybe you're interested in rap, maybe not so much in country. And so you can say that, and you get connected to people who are also interested in similar things get input in certain channels and certain group chats and certain like roundtables to be able to talk about the things they're interested in order to solve problems. And so my technology team, my software development team behind this platform is incredible. They're in the Web2 space right now, moving into the Web3 space. They do events for the UN. They do events for like the COP26 conference. Like they are absolutely incredible, and we are already like pretty in deep with the platform. It should be coming out later this year, if not quarter 3, quarter 4, which is really cool. What's even cooler is the whole thing that we're using, like the whole tokenomics related to the platform. And so, so all of our NFT holders, our gods and goddesses, will receive tokens to use on the platform. So these tokens can be used to attend the events, in real life, in the metaverse. We already have a metaverse event coming up here in a couple of weeks. We're going to start announcing. So you can use your tokens to come into these things. You can use your tokens to event certain panels. You can use your tokens for a bunch of different things that we have that we're going to come out with here pretty soon. And on the other hand, you can earn tokens. You can earn tokens for just straight participating in these events, in these panels, in our Discords, in all of our chat spaces and stuff. So if let's say you're someone in the community that wants to attend some of these things, you can actually just participate and get tokens in order to do so. So building it all on the whole tokenomic system is what we're really excited about. The curation we're really excited about, and kind of our whole 3 pillars related to the platform is just networking, learning, and building. Like, how can we kind of come together, especially with this 1,000 of these most amazing minds together in this project. So yeah, that's what we're building right now. We haven't really even announced this, just got that kind of the go ahead from the team in the past week or two to even just start talking about what we're building. And so this is one of the first places that we're even talking about the project and the platform. So excited to get more updates out, and then, hot take here, I guess.
That is awesome. Super exciting. It's cool to hear how your project has evolved over time, and it continuously evolves. And it's pretty amazing. I mean, I have to say, you're in school, right? You're in school full time, right? Like,
Yeah.
How on earth do you balance it all?
Right.
You've got a lot going on, and you're in school. That's just, incredible. How do you do it?
Yeah, I time management. I think I have a really awesome team that has honestly been able to have me be able to just strategy, vision, and then give off things, have other people to help me out. I would not be able to do it without my awesome team, but just be able to kind of have the strategy, have the vision, have the goals, and then kind of be able to give things off along the way in order to kind of balance everything. We're doing it. We're plowing ahead, and it is just absolutely incredible. I think my team is probably the answer to that.
Wow. That's
amazing. I'm just amazed, astonished, because I'm thinking back to when I was in college.
I know.
And I was lucky to get my homework done, actually go to class. I did work, part-time, but I can't imagine taking on learning all of this and building all of this and being on the volleyball team and doing school.
Yeah, no, it's good. I'm actually graduating early, so I'm finishing after the fall. So, and I have a
graduating early.
I have a light load in the fall, and so honestly, this is my last full quarter of classes, which is great. So, and we're going to summer in 2 weeks, and so, I'll have
And what's your degree in?
Finance and economics.
Okay.
So I have a question on that. So I have a traditional finance background. Do you find that all that you're learning over here in the Web3 world is either contradicting what you're learning in school, or in some way it's like good versus evil in any sense? Because I get that sense. I'm curious as to being in school.
Great question. I think that I love my school, and we have some really good professors here, but I think what we're learning in some of our business class is interesting, because I feel I've just been able to hands-on run a business now for the past year, and you just learn so much faster when you do it hands-on. Versus in the classroom, it's very trial and error. Here's an assignment, go test it out. I think we've all experienced it. Anyone that's in an entrepreneur space sees just how fast you have to learn. Google is amazing. Google is your best friend. But when it comes to my finance classes, I've actually really enjoyed the things I learned in my finance classes. Of course, Web3 and finance is just different, but even just the basics of accounting and just some of that stuff has been really helpful, with the whole company development stuff. But yeah, it's been different. I mentioned I'm the president of my student investment fund. And we actually had a Web3 night, I think 2 or 3 weeks ago, where I talked about Web3. And actually, my neighbor has been in the Web3 space now for a couple of years. He dropped out of school just to pursue his Web3 career. He's in the project project management space, and just coming and just chatting to kids that are my age about Web3 was really interesting. I think their minds were about blown by the idea of whole the decentralization and data ownership and things like that. And so it's been interesting because I agree in the whole, I've been kind of in the whole finance, just learning and talking about finance, and now being kind of in the Web3 space. It's different, but I think the whole goal of this project is to kind of like bring these people together. The people that are on our finance fintech side are a lot of entrepreneurs, a lot of like business owners, a lot of CEOs. And so it's like, if you can get their minds to kind of going, like even the whole idea was like, I was talking to one of our awesome fintech leaders about how to even mint an NFT. Like her daughter wanted to learn more about minting an NFT. And so just sending her kind of a list of this is step-by-step how to do it. And what's even cooler is the fact that we're doing 500 gods, 500 goddesses.
Yes.
So both finance and Web3 are spaces that are majority male. But we knew going into this, and it's interesting because I was listening to Somi's podcast. I'm like, this is crazy because we did. And we're like, okay, so we didn't want to do just a female project because like being in finance and being in Web3 and things like that, like I don't want to be on a panel or a board of just women. I really believe in diversity and inclusion, and everyone's voices coming together. Because if we don't have everyone's voices, then like innovation will never happen. It's just if you have just a certain group of your friends together, you're never going to think outside the box. And so I'm like, okay, we do 500 men, 500 women. That's bringing 500 women leaders into this space, especially the finance, fintech people. And I've really noticed a lot of people who are in like places of leadership, especially women, are constantly bringing people alongside them along the way towards success. And so if we could educate all these people about NFTs and crypto that are like leaders, like how many people are they going to kind of impact too? And so that was kind of the whole inspiration behind our numbers of the collection. And it's like, how can we get more women in places of leadership and just kind of like show off the things that they're doing, like things that you guys are doing. You guys are doing awesome things with the podcast. I've been love listening to what you guys are doing. And it's like, how can we just like show off what you guys are doing and bring some more like spotlight on what you guys are doing. So yeah.
Well, and I guess that's the main thing behind what we're doing here is we're trying to put the spotlight on people like you who are doing awesome, cool things in the space and, bringing awareness. I love the fact that you're in college and you're like, all your artists are females and like you're doing the same thing by bringing more people into the space and teaching them. So before we started recording, we were just kind of catching up on what you're doing. So I would love for you to share like the 3 pillars of what you're doing with, and the website's cryptogoddess.art. And I don't know if now is the time, if you want me to pull up the screen so we can share that, or if you just want to talk about the different pillars.
Yeah, you can pull it up. We don't, like I just mentioned, we just kind of got cleared by the team to been able to start even talking about the platforms. We're going to add all that stuff, information about the platform onto there. But kind of briefly, another fun, crazy story is that when I realized that Solana was coming to OpenSea, I reached out to the whole Solana team. I said, hey, like just ask some questions about Solana's integration on OpenSea, and was chatting with one of the guys that like leads Solana. And was just, hey, by the way, like, do you guys have any like sort of backing or any sort of help that you got to NFT projects I want to build on Solana? And came back and we're actually getting a grant from the Solana Foundation. So that's really exciting. Love what they're doing. I love the Solana blockchain. So yeah, so that's why it says backed by the Solana Foundation. We actually got a grant from them to build, which is really exciting. And I think just we want to show off just some of the amazing people that are in our collection on our website, and just kind of start showing off some of our art on the website. You can see right in the middle, we got Somi right there with her little owl on her shoulder.
I love it.
But just kind of showing off just some of the amazing people in our collection, from people just all over the world that we got to connect with along the way, which is so fun. And we've been releasing a ton more art on our Twitter as well, and kind of starting to highlight people. Just some videos here if anyone wants to check out. We have some awesome videos. It's just why education for a lot of our goddesses, education, funding girls' education is really important to them too. So we wanted to highlight that. And then right here we have obviously our partners that we're donating a lot of our money to. And of course, we're actually donating some to my university. I really, really wanted to give back to my university. And so a whole percent of our secondary royalties is going to them, as well as our, forgot to mention, this is one of the most important parts of the project, is each minted NFT is either funding education for 20 girls in Uganda or Ethiopia, or 25 high school girls in India, which is just something that's like insane, like so impactful. The fact that just Jen's NFT, just Aaron's NFT will be funding like 20 girls to go to school, just the mint. And then we're also donating 4% as well, just to girls' education from our secondary royalties. So
that's
really
amazing.
cool.
I mean, you're literally going to change the lives of others, and
like so many.
That's just, I mean, amazing. I love that aspect.
I love that. I think just as an aside, you need to like tally up every time you're like 25, 20, 50, you know, whatever those numbers are. So you can say, you know, we have helped X amount of girls.
Yeah. And just crazy, like if we're doing 1,000, and so just like 1,000 minted NFTs will be like between 20 and 25,000 girls.
Yeah.
Like
that's
impact.
Amazing.
Like so many, which is cool. And that's just from our mint. Like that's not even from our secondary royalties. Like secondary royalties will also go to that too. So
yeah.
And then of course we have my podcasting too. So we've been interviewing people in the collection now for, you know, over almost a year. And so we have also a partner podcast. And so
I love this podcast name, Undressing Finance.
Right. I thought it was so fun because it's just, I think one thing that I notice about Web3 and what I love, and I'm sure you guys can attest to this, is that it is the most like chill, fun, vibey community. Like everyone wants to be there and hang out. They want to learn. They want to just like get to know other people. And so it's like, I was like, okay, because I was kind of like into this whole like space in and out. And so I'm like, let's just bring a little bit of fun to the whole finance too, because finance people are more, you know, just more professional. It's kind of more like LinkedIn vibes, whereas like Web3 is more just like Twitter vibes. I think that's kind of the best way to put it. Yeah. That's why we're doing, you can even scroll down, we're doing twice a week panels right now, just to kind of spotlight the people in our collection. And so we're doing Web3 Wednesdays on Twitter, obviously. And then our Finance Fridays we're doing on LinkedIn, which we're getting there. We were supposed to start last week on our LinkedIn. We just posted it because I couldn't figure out the LinkedIn Live. But yeah, real briefly. So of course, right now we're just really working on our recruitment to the community. It's going amazing. We have just the most wonderful group with that. And then obviously our podcast, our panels, just cultivating the community. And then we will kick off our 100 Goddesses Genesis collection release probably end-ish of next month. We're shooting for after NFT NYC. We'll be there. We have a lot of things going on for our crypto goddess.
We'll be there too.
No way! Oh my gosh, I'll see you guys there. That's so exciting. Okay, we'll have to hit you guys up and meet you in person.
Yes,
you guys
definitely.
For sure.
Puerto Rico, away from the palm trees.
That's right.
I'm surprised, but I guess NFT NYC.
We're so excited.
Yeah.
That's so exciting. I know, I'm excited too. So my summer, I'm going to go, and I'm actually going to Europe just to go meet with gods and goddesses. We have a ton of people in Europe from our collection. So we're going to meet a bunch of people over in Europe, and they'll come over to NFT NYC to go.
Awesome. We're both going to be in Europe at different times, but maybe we can
overlap. That's exciting.
It'll be fun.
Yeah, and so and then after 100 Goddesses Genesis launch, then we'll have our 400 Goddess collection release, and then our 500 Gods, which will be really, really exciting. And then just put this onto the website, new update. So what we're doing with our collection, so basically what it is, and so we'll have tiers on our platform. So our top tier is obviously our crypto gods and our crypto goddesses, aka you guys. And so what you guys will get, you'll get a certain amount of tokens to be able to use on the platform. And then our next, obviously, our NFT holders of our crypto gods and goddesses, super important. They'll also get a bunch of tokens, and then from there we'll release our 3,000 Pantheon Pass release. And so this whole group will also be able to network and be in certain chat channels, and also get tokens as well, in order to bring more community to the platform and bring more voices, bring more innovation. So really excited about that too. And then we should be releasing more information about just like what the platform's going to look like and everything in the next week or two onto it. So just getting that out there will be really exciting.
That's awesome.
Exciting.
I love it. And so, Lindsay, I've got a question for you. As you're building this brand, the NFT kind of world has had its ups and downs and everything in between. Most recently, there's a bit of a disruption in the NFT community, also the crypto world. So wanted to get your takes on like what the future looks like for NFT projects like yourself or kind of crypto in general.
Yeah. Yeah. For us, like obviously this market downturn has been like terrible for everyone in the space. But we were weirdly excited a little bit for the opportunity because we have such an amazing community building around these crypto gods and goddesses. Like the whole point of this is obviously to network, learn, and build. And so what better time to do that is like during a down market. And so it's like this community, it's like it's really around the utility of building and the bridge from Web 2 to Web 3. And so like just because there's a downturn in the market doesn't mean that we still don't need to create this bridge between Web 2 to Web 3. And so for us, like we haven't minted yet. And so it's like just we're still creating the community, we're still charging ahead. Obviously, I think the NFT like world is just a little bit different now. It's not as like just create an art project as it was last year. And now I think although there's some amazing art in the space, I think the future of NFT collections is going to kind of move in towards the utility and kind of how you can use NFTs kind of in the real world. Like what is that NFT unlocking you? I think that's kind of like what's next for NFTs. And so for us, it's like your NFT is unlocking you with access to this amazing community of people. I think that's kind of where NFTs are going to go. And so I think people kind of seen that in this whole market downturn. It's like, what does this NFT mean to me? Why am I holding this? Why am I going to buy this? And so I think people will kind of take a step back and start asking those questions a little bit more. And I think the projects that actually have utility give you a key to something that's really tangible, not something that's going to be 2 years from now, 3 years from now, 4 years from now. We're building this metaverse that's going to come 5 years from now. I think it's just whatever is going to provide some real tangible utility is kind of what's going to come to be with this crazy, market volatility as we're seeing right now. So,
yeah.
What are your favorite things that you see projects doing right now for utility? Because I know I'm asking because we just did a like what we're look for in projects. And then on top of, utility is, I think, extremely important. I'm just curious, what are like the favorites that you've seen others doing? And
yeah, definitely like a widely talked about one, not a secret one at all. But we really enjoyed what Moonbirds have done with, they kind of changed the game with it all. They kind of came out and said, hey, here's our, obviously we have PFPs, but these equal something else. These equal your entrance into this community, and in the community it's more NFT focused of what they're investing into, like kind of what's next in the market. And we were already kind of building that. So like this is the next step. Like this is what's next. This is what people want. They want to have an NFT. They want to get something. They want knowledge. They want some sort of like upper hand in some sort of way. And so for us, we're like, okay, this is amazing. Like you have our NFT and you unlock this path into this community of how you can use, especially for entrepreneurs, especially who want to build, especially for people who want to come get knowledge on from experts in the community. It's like by being in our community, you'll kind of get that. And so we loved what the guy that does Moonbirds, we loved what he's doing with how it's like you are getting access into something. So I think utility based around that has been something that we've really been interested in. So,
well, I'm so glad you shared that with me because I was curious as to what like the aspect of birds is all about, but you've just shared. Now I know, like, because I'm like, I don't get it. I just don't get it.
It's literally like, it's, of course you have this NFT, but so I can't believe I forgot his name. He's iconic. I'm looking it up because I don't know. Oh, Kevin Rose. Come on, guys. We all knew that.
Oh, yeah.
So Kevin Rose, he's done like a lot of podcasts in the back. He had this thing called something, I forgot what it's called, but he runs the Proof Collective. And so it's this really exclusive group of people who come together. And I think it's more in the NFT space, Web3. And so it's like, he's like, okay, well, obviously this is a great, amazing group of people. Like, let's bring more people into the mix with this knowledge. And so they came up with Moonbirds because like, if you have a Moonbird, then you have certain access to a certain Discord channel to be able to talk with these people. And it was a pass to this community. And so like, this is really cool. We love the pass to the community. So it's not just holding a Moonbird. Of course, it's cool. You can have that as your PFP, but be able to actually hold it as an access into a community is kind of like where we think a lot of value is coming next. And so we didn't want to just have access into a community that just talks about NFTs. Of course, we can talk about NFTs in our Crypto Goddess God community, but you can talk about like tax law, how to do taxes in Web3. We're going to talk about like just the transitioning from finance to DeFi. We're going to talk like we have every person in finance find, fintech and Web3 in one spot. And so just like, I know I've already gotten so much advising from people in this community. We're hopping on a call next week with someone who has been through the taxes of starting a Web3 company. And so it's not just you're coming to our community to learn about NFTs, coming to community to talk about anything that is revolving around bridging Web2 to Web3. So,
which is so needed. I mean, there's just so many things to consider once you're like
and
in
just
this
the whole
space.
thing, we just talked about it, but no one has time to just to search through Discords all day, every day for this information. So to be able to have a curated spot where let's say you just want to talk about taxes in the Web3 world, you can be in a channel and we can have events on it. We can have roundtables on it. You can just come and talk to people who are interested in that. Come for a quick hour, chat for 30 minutes with people at a roundtable about it, and then get your information and go. And so just totally always having to be in the Discord. We'll have Discords and stuff that you can chat. I think having that community cultivation is good too, but just be able to come to a spot and get information is what we really wanted to do for these people. So
I love that. That's good. I need that. I need that in my life.
Yeah.
So I had to look because we were talking about it, but Moonbird's floor right now is 25 and Proof is 75.
No, they're doing great things over there. I think it's kind of a cool blueprint for where can information come next. Like I think it'd be the coolest thing ever for projects to come in. So let's say like I'm not very interested in like just the music industry, but like a music collective to come together and you enter the music collective and you just get information on how to be successful as a musician. They could have podcasts, they could have groups, they could have, whatever, and just information about how to be successful in the music industry. It doesn't have to be an NFT industry. You could just have your thing and then you can be in a group to learn. So I think there's a lot. I mean, there's a million things that we haven't even discovered yet with NFTs, but we're kind of researching the space and creating the space of just like a knowledge path kind of. So
I love this. I love everything that you're doing. And I love I feel like everything that everybody that we're talking to is like somehow connected. Like when we connected, Lindsay, I had no idea that Somi was, part of the collection. And then I don't even know when I realized. I was like, oh, wait, that's Somi. And then we had her on the show. And I just love how like that wasn't planned. It just happened organically that we were all connected.
No, it's
and then you mentioned Travis and I'm like, oh yeah.
Travis is in the collection too. Like he's one of our crypto gods. And so this space is so small and so tight knit, and like we've gotten a lot of our recruitment through people like so many people like that, and like just like having us like reach out to this person, look into this person, and so we'll look at them, look what they're doing. Are they creating innovation in the space? Are they influential? Are they doing good for the world? Like, and then reaching out to each person like one by one to cultivate this community. It's been an act of love, but my team has been awesome, and our community is growing and it's growing like crazy, and people are excited to be a part of it. So yeah,
it's so exciting. And I mean, we have to share the incredible artwork that you have done for Minty Cell and myself.
Yes.
I'm so excited because we just received them right before this, and so I'm like on cloud 9, obsessed with it. I love them. Awesome.
I know. I said to you, I was like, I have to send them over to you guys. I think I sent them over to you like 3 minutes before the show started because I was like, they have to see it, and so you guys are welcome to show it.
Okay, let's put it out there.
Hey,
I love them. So cute.
It's so good.
It's so exciting. Yeah, my creative team is just amazing. We wanted to just like create pieces of like art that people will like love to have in their wallets and just have it be really cool, really beautiful, really funky, really fun. So
I'm already thinking I'm going to need another mix tile, and I'm going to have to replace one of these beauties.
Yes.
I love it. I love it. It looks amazing. They're so beautiful. I cannot wait to see, as the collection grows. I just can't wait to see it. And I can't wait to see all the gods too. I think we feel the same. We feel like we want to be inclusive. Obviously, our show is has a primary mission to bring more women into the space, because I think they have a bit more of a barrier entry point than men who have so many advantages to stepping into the space. So that's our primary mission. But we love men in the space, and we look at them as our allies. And I love that you're kind of being inclusive of them, and it's going to be exciting. I'm so looking forward to this collection growing and seeing all about the platform. And oh my gosh, you got so many things going on. It's so great.
I know, it's exciting, and just finally started to be able to get some information out to the whole community about the platform, because the platform is the heart of the collection. And so we've kind of been growing just based on the fact of what our art and our education initiatives, but be able to get the information of the platform out. Really, really excited to do that and kind of get that out to the world.
So do you have dates? Or do you know like approximate timelines for everything? Or
our like goddess collection at the end of next month, probably right after NFT NYC, which is cool. We'll have some meetups with our crypto goddess / god collection there, and so let you guys know all about that. But we're shooting for the end of June is our goal for our goddess collection.
Perfect. And so what is the best way to connect with you, follow you, make sure to, stay up to date on what's happening with the collection and, when things are going to be live and all that?
Yeah, I think our Twitter is probably the best space. It's crypto_goddess_. I think just checking out there. We have tons of updates. We're doing all of our Web3 Wednesday panels with a bunch of our project people, and then we're also doing Finance Fridays on my LinkedIn, which is Lindsay Rosenthal. But we also post all that stuff onto our Twitter as well. So if you just keep up to date on our Twitter, and obviously you can jump on over to our Discord too, which is on the Twitter link. So yeah.
Awesome. Well, I just want to say thank you so much, Lindsay, for coming on the show and for creating these awesome crypto goddesses of GenFT. And I know I love it. And like I said, I'm going to have to get a mix tile printed up. So
thank you guys so much for having me. You guys are so much fun. And I just love what you guys are creating in the podcast space right now. You guys are absolutely killing it.
Thanks. And we can't wait to see you in New York.
Yeah. See you guys in New York.
Yeah. Awesome.
All right. Thanks, Lindsay.
Awesome. We'll chat more soon.
Wow. GenFT. I mean, can you imagine? Honestly, I think back to when I was 21 years old and what I was doing. And I never in a million years would have been able to dream up and do the things that Lindsay's doing. I'm just in awe of her.
I mean, yeah, she's just so incredible. And to take the initiative and not just do like one thing, but then do 2 things and 3 things and 4. I mean, she's just, her plate must be just like full all the time, but she's just clearly crushing it and loving it. It's so good.
I can't wait to keep following her journey to see what she does next. Because I mean, if you're starting out at such a young age with that motivation and that inspiration, just think about by the time she's 30, what she could accomplish.
I know, right? And I am in love with our crypto goddesses.
I know, they're so amazing. Beautiful. I can't wait for this to launch and for everybody, I mean, the fact alone that what she's doing with this NFT project is every single NFT that is within this project is going to help anywhere from 20 to 25 girls go to school, and it funds their education for a year. That is amazing.
That's amazing. That has huge consequences, in a good way. It's just going to be, it's just not impacting one person, but it's going to be impacting someone's life and many girls' lives. Right. And it's
what she said, if when this collection sells out 1,000 NFTs alone, that's 25,000 girls impacted.
That's insane.
Life-changing.
I love that. I love that. I love that component. And, for, in tying back to one of our previous episodes of what's important to us in a project. And it's for me, mission and, the charitable aspect to that, I think is in line with the mission. And talk about a win. That's a slam dunk to be able to, just by minting one NFT, impact that many young girls, and to be empowering them with education, which is such a foundational privilege that not everyone in the world gets. It's crazy to think about, but it's huge. That's awesome.
Yeah,
So
I love
good.
it. And so speaking of, I wanted to say, I mean, we mentioned it in the show, but just to reiterate, be sure to follow at crypto_goddess_ to stay updated on releases and all that with the project. But also when the project is live, I'm sure we're going to be in touch with Lindsay and know when things are coming out. So we'll be sure to, either be sharing it on our socials and or talking about it on the show when things launch for them. So be sure to follow our social media. You can find us on all the socials at the Nifty Chicks. That's the Nifty, Nifty Chicks, CHICKS. And you can find us on Facebook, Twitter, Instagram, LinkedIn, basically anywhere you want to find us on social media, you can find us. And be sure to follow us on all the social medias.
That's right. And as always, thank you for listening to the Nifty Chicks. Remember, invest in yourself. You are worth it. Please listen carefully to the following disclaimer. Neither the host nor the guests of the Nifty Chicks podcast are acting in the capacity of financial advisors. We wish to remain transparent and impartial to the NFT community at all times, and therefore, the content provided by the Nifty Chicks hosts and guests are intended for general information purposes only. Nothing written or discussed by the Nifty Chicks hosts and guests should be construed or relied upon as investment, financial, legal, regulatory, accounting, tax, or similar advice. Nothing should be interpreted as a solicitation to invest in any cryptocurrency or NFT, and nothing herein should be construed as a recommendation to engage in any investment strategy or transaction. Please be advised that it is in your own best interest to consult with investment, legal, tax, or similar professionals regarding any specific situation and any prospective transaction decisions. You must do your own research when considering investing in cryptocurrencies or NFTs. We are simply sharing our journey with you as we learn more about the world of NFTs. Happy minting.